Are you having a hard time getting the ball up in the air with your irons? Stay tuned. Let me know if you guys have any questions for me. You can find me on Instagram at cathykimgolf. You can also find me on YouTube and on Facebook, cathykimgolf. Thanks so much for watching. If you're helping the ball up in the air, usually it backfires and you end up topping the ball like this. How many of you done that before? I know I have. And that's usually because I am trying way too hard to get the ball up in the air. It's kind of the opposite. What you want to think about is if I took a basketball and I bounced it on the ground, what does it do? It bounces right back up towards you, right? Or wherever it's going. Same thing with your golf club. You want to let the club hit down into the ground in order for the ball to go up. If at any point in time you help the ball and you end up taking the club and you lift and you're helping, that in turn will end up hitting the equator of the ball or even above it, and that is why the ball doesn't go up in the air. So if you're a beginner golfer or someone that's just coming back to the game, sometimes it's really difficult to try to get that ball up into the air. And oftentimes you end up with what we call worm burners, where the ball goes really, really low. So let's go ahead and get a couple things straight. Number one, we want to make sure that when we're making impact with the ball, we're not hitting anywhere above the equator of the ball, okay? Anywhere in the middle, because if you do that, the ball really won't go anywhere. What we're looking for instead is we're looking for the club to hit down into the ball, utilizing the loft that has already been pre-created for your specific golf club here. So in other words, I have a 7-iron here, my 7-iron loft. I'm gonna make sure that the 7-iron does what it needs to do by letting the club hit down into the ground, and in turn that helps the ball go. So this is what it'll look like, and it's, go ahead and listen for this here. We're looking and listening for a thump on the ground. In order for us to do that, we want to make sure that we're hitting the ground as we're hitting the ball. So when we are making a divot in the ground, the goal is going to be to start the divot right where the ball is, right where the ball sits, and then forward or out towards the target. Now, if you happen to have a little bit of a divot where it starts just before the ball, it's gonna feel what we call fat, or in other words, it's gonna feel heavy, and the ball, you're gonna end up losing a little bit of distance. So the goal is going to be to pick the ball clean and start the divot right at the ball. And you could even think about maybe creating that divot just past the ball on the other side, and that'll also give you the same effect.